This is a little bit bright. This is too bright. Let me move my camera. So I just wanted to get on here. I have to move. My desk is a mess. That's on my list of things to do. My room is a mess. My life is a mess. No, I'm just kidding. I love my life. So I'm a little weirded out, and I wanted to share. And then I wanted to let that lead into something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm going to try and look at the camera and not myself, because I think blah, 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 blah. I think it makes me look more like I'm talking to you if I look at the camera. I don't know. I'm figuring all this technology stuff out. It's really weird. So I have a Facebook group called Mindful Joy Search. And it's a very tiny group. And I mean, there's not even, I don't think it's over 60 members right now. All it is people who want to practice mindfulness. And I'll go on there and I'll post a different mindfulness exercise, and I encourage members to also make posts about what they're doing and what's working for them in their mindfulness practice. So, this is funny. So I, from my computer, went on Facebook and streamed live a video of me listening to Sheryl Crow's song, Soak Up the Sun. I believe I mentioned, just like I did now, that I was going to play Sheryl Crow's Soak Up the Sun. So I used my Spotify account off my phone, completely separate from my computer, and I played that song, and I told members, nobody was even watching actually, it's just easier for me to stream it than to record it and upload it. So anyway, so I was just trying to really focus in on my listening. And so I said, you know what I'm going to do is just notice each note and each word and kind of visualizing it hitting my eardrum. And then in this way I can be mindful. And actually that was a very difficult activity and something that intrigues me and something that I'm going to do more often, because oftentimes I'm mindful but not of anything specific. You know, I'm just like mindful of all my 5 senses, and I just notice as the sensory information comes to me, whether it's a thought or a feeling or whatever, right? So this is the first time that I've tried just focusing. Like I'll focus on my breath sometimes, but that's as close as I get. So this is when I'm trying to focus on one of the 5 senses and see how that goes. But anyway, that's a tangent. I just want to say technology is weird, because so you say done, I'm done streaming this video, and then Facebook popped up and said, we don't want to post your video quite yet until we confirm that you have the rights to everything in your video, because you played Sheryl Crow's Soak Up the Sun. And so we want to make sure you have rights to that. Well, 2 funny things about this. One, they must have an algorithm or program or something, whatever the correct terminology is, but they've got some kind of program probably that is protecting copyrighted content so that people don't just share it all over the place, I guess. But what are they actually protecting? Because that was not very good quality. I'm streaming off of just my let's say Comcast, my CenturyLink account, you know, via my computer. So the video's really bad and the sound's not very great. Okay, so they're protecting me from sharing with 50 people. Now these are people that have joined the group, but how many actually, you know, you'll join a group and intend to go and then you don't. So, you know, these videos might get 10, 12 views at most. What are they protecting? And here's the other thing. Actually, there's 3 things that weird me out about this. All I did to fix this was I re-streamed the video without playing the song, and I explained the exercise, and then in the comments after I posted the video, I posted a YouTube link of a YouTube video that obviously they have the rights to share Sheryl Crow's song. I mean, somehow they got around it. And so now I can share with the world, I can share with anybody that link, and they can play it right there on Facebook. So I'm scratching my head. I'm like, I'm confused. But here's the other thing. And I've experienced this. I experienced this years ago, where you got to realize when you sign up for Facebook that they are going to listen to whatever content you put on their site. It's their site. And obviously they don't have time to listen to all of it. But this is just one example of the fact that they can. So, don't let your emotions dictate what you post and even in video or whatever, because Facebook's going to come and yank it off if they want to. They have the right. They can suspend your account for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm not upset with that, and I'm not really ranting about that so much, but it is a good segue into what I wanted to talk about, and that was that we are spiritual beings. I think we all know this on some level, that we're spiritual beings in a physical world. And even if you think that it's just a bunch of chemicals that are causing you to experience life, you're still just the way that you perceive all the information that's coming in. And that's all you have is your perception. And that can get real complicated. But as I've been doing a lot of introspection and thinking, I've been trying to live a mindful life, trying to radically accept things as they are, accept what my senses are telling me, and not react to them, but to just say, how can I proceed? What's the best course of action? Anyway, it's been really freeing, and that's what I try to teach. And I'm really focusing a lot on how to follow your heart and how to follow love. And I've been spending a lot of time just in the last few weeks justifying the fact that I am not working. I walked away from a nanny position that, I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was helping with household finances. And so now I feel a lot of guilt for not working. And I'm not looking for work. I wrote a book. I have a booklet that I put out. I've made some affirmation cards. And so I've been spending a lot of time justifying, why I'm not looking for work. Why am I not, going and getting an actual job to secure an actual paycheck? And I've been saying, I need to follow my passion. I've got to follow my calling. But what I've actually been doing is just trying to justify it so that not even so much so that other people will understand, just so that I can assuage my own guilt and help myself to not feel guilty about what I'm doing. So finally, yesterday I posted a video about money and, how we view it and how we get way too sidetracked by money. All of us, or most of us. There are a few precious souls in this world that do not rely on money. They don't rely on currency, at least not in the way that the mainstream does. And I don't know, are they happier? They might be, because we get so focused on a number. And we get so focused on consumerism and, advertising, or these companies, their whole mission is to create need. Their whole mission is to give you a product and tell you why you need it. And listen, here's the bottom line. You're a spiritual being in a physical body, and either you believe that you go on, or you believe that once your body dies, that's it. But in either case, you want to live a happy, fulfilled life. You want your experience to mean something. I want my experience. I should say, I don't know what you want, but I should say, for me, this is what I want. All I can do is share what I believe, right? So I want a meaningful existence, and yet I'm so focused on this physical plane. I'm so focused on what do I have, and what how can I keep what I have, and how can I ensure that I'll be safe, fed, protected. And that's everyone's focus is on that. And we go to church and we have different religions and we have different spiritual beliefs. But for me personally, from my perspective, I have these videos and I have my groups, and I have different groups too that I'm in that help to keep me focused on the spiritual side of things, because it really, all we have truly is the moment that we're in. And while we shouldn't ignore the fact that most likely more moments will follow, although we're not promised any future moments. Oh my goodness, I lost my train of thought. While we should not ignore the fact that there is a future to come, we need to spend most of our energy living where we are, living in the moment that we're in, because if we don't, we will miss life, because we'll forget to live in the next moment, and we'll forget to live in the next moment, and so on, and we'll spend our life chasing a moment that will never exist, because that's actually a lot of what we do when we worry and stress and get upset, is that we're afraid our future is not going to be what we need it to be. And so we chase after this idea of how things need to be. And I've been on a journey for the last year trying to work all of this out in my head. If you have some wisdom to share with me, please do. I find myself very centered, and I find I can simplify it down really easily, and for a while I can walk in perfect peace, knowing that all I need to do is follow love, and all I need to do is continuously cast off fear, and I trust love to keep me safe, because I know that love has my best interest in mind, and that my best interest is spiritual and not physical, and that whether a life exists for a day or whether it exists for 100 years, it is just as valuable an experience. It's just as valuable a life. I don't want to ramble on, but this is where I'm at. This is kind of where I'm at in my journey. But okay, so I can get to that center. I can get to that place where I feel good. I feel like, okay, I got this. But we do live in a physical world, and there are lots of distractions. My dog barks, and I'm immediately pulled out. But sometimes I'm successful in getting to that place where even the dog bark doesn't pull me out. It just becomes another part of my experience, if that makes sense. Because really, I don't know, I overthink things. And so I don't want to overthink in this video and torment you with it. But I'm just trying to say that instead of justifying why I'm not working and why I'm not looking for work, I'm going to say, what is my truth? Where is my heart leading me? And one of the things that I always talk about too is I try and tell myself, problems are not bad things. They are just guiding me to where I need to go next. They're either pointing out something that needs to be corrected, or they're showing me a different perspective. And so when I come up against problems like, not being able to pay a credit card minimum payment or whatever, that I need to look at that and decide the best action. And, oftentimes the best action is to go get a job so you can pay for that. That's the most obvious. But sometimes the best action defies logic. And so I'm not willing to just assume that my best interest is to go get a job. Because here's the thing, and this is something that it's so tricky not to fall into justification when you're trying to understand. But if I go get a job at my level of education, and this is a whole other rant that I could go on, but at my level of education, I do not have an actual degree. I have enough classes to have a degree, but I don't have one. And so I have all my experience in childcare, but I'm spent. I'm spent. And I could just weep about that. I love children, but for reasons that are too complicated to really share and talk about right now, I'm just done with that industry. And I think the main reason is because I know that my heart is longing to share more. I want to tell people that you don't have to live by society's rules to be happy, and that actually society, as screwed up as it is right now, is going to make you depressed and on lots of antidepressants. I don't want to, and I'm going off on a million tangents, you guys. My brain is just all over the place. So I'm always sensitive of offending. I don't want to offend anybody. So I say that and I'm like, oh, now if you're on an antidepressant, you're going to feel bad about yourself. Because I just said that society's going to make you live on antidepressants. So something's wrong with you. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. I'm actually on antidepressants, so I'm not judging you. That's another video. Anyway, let me go ahead and wrap this up since I'm clearly not, since my thought patterns are clearly not very structured right now. I don't think I'm being very helpful, but I just wanted to get on and share a little bit about where I'm at, where I'm headed, and I don't know, I just put it out there. So I love you guys. I adore you. I adore each and every one of you, and I thank you so much for watching this. If you like my ramblings, then subscribe, share. If you know someone else who could really they could really use a 20-minute break to just flush down the toilet. And no, I'm just kidding. I'm in a weird mood. I'm in a very weird mood. Anyway, love you. Goodbye.